My name is Jessica Kinzer, and I am a student at SPC, and today I will be presenting to you a project proposal I have been working on for LA Fitness. Okay, I am sharing my screen with you, so you should be able to see my PowerPoint that I have pulled up. Today I'll be talking about LA Fitness. The business proposal I've been working on for them is a way to decrease their employee turnover rate. I will make this attention to Shannon and Natalie. Shannon is the operations manager of the club that I have worked most with. The club is located off of Missouri Avenue in Largo, and Natalie is the district operations manager, so she is directly above Shannon. I will be covering an introduction, opportunity, benefits, risks, and the final recommendation and call to action that I have worked with. LA Fitness was founded in 1984 in Los Angeles, California. They currently have 800 clubs across the US and Canada. They have been facing a high employee turnover rate for quite some time now. It has been an ongoing issue in both departments of operations and sales employees. As I spoke to you earlier, Shannon is the operations manager and Natalie is the district operations manager. Sales has their own club manager and district vice president as well. They keep the two very separate. The current situation is that they face a high employee turnover rate. Employees need better pay. They need to minimize micromanaging and present more hour opportunities for operations employees. Key success factors to making this proposal successful is first going to be budget. Hours and operations for employees are currently based off of EFT and their gross profit. EFT is when they have the employees call members who billing has gone declined, whether it is through a card being expired or insufficient funds on their account, or we just have the wrong card number, anything like that. Anytime we don't get a payment to go through and their payment has been declined, we need to go ahead and call them to try and update the billing information so we can get that billing to successfully go through for their monthly payment. And gross profit consists of paid in full gym memberships, any miscellaneous gross that we bring in through the club, whether it is guest passes for the day, key tag sales, kids club for the day, anything miscellaneous that we are doing can go into our gross profit. We have goals that we have to hit each month, and if we hit the goal for that month, we will get extra hours for the following month. So it's currently December, so we have all month until December 31st to try and get 150 EFT clear-ups and reach a certain amount of growth that we need to bring in. If we are able to do so by the 31st of this month, all operations employees will get additional hours for the following month. Now, how am I going to get this approved? I'm going to start locally with Shannon, and then I will work my way up the chain of command. So I'll start with Shannon, then go to Natalie, and then I'll go to her higher up, etc. Currently, how LA Fitness pays their employees is they all get paid minimum wage, and then they make commission based off their EFTs and PIFs that they bring in. For every EFT clear-up that an employee gets, they get $5 commission, and then Shannon also gets $5. For the paid in full memberships, each employee gets 20.22% of the overall growth that they bring in, and Shannon gets 0.44. This may seem pretty easy and like you would make a lot of money at first, but once you get working there, it is very difficult. The members are definitely overcalled and harassed for any time they have an upcoming paid in full membership that needs to be renewed, or if their billing hasn't gone through. Also, LA Fitness does need to work on staffing their clubs appropriately. They do look at the check-ins, and that's how they determine their staff, but currently their check-in to staff ratio is not equal and not proportionate. They definitely need to staff more appropriately and have 2 people working the front desk during their peak hours. Next is going to be the analysis of alternatives. Have 2 operations employees working the front desk during the peak hours, which is kind of where I just left off. The peak hours are 8 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday, and then 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. This is when we get what's called our rush, when everybody tries to go either before work or right when they get off. And it's very hard for the operations employees to try and do everything that they are responsible to do, along with checking in all of the members, answering the phones, setting up possible new members with a sales counselor, and everything that we are responsible to do. I think it would help if we were to delegate our tasks equally and appropriately between the operations and sales employees. Currently, operations does all of the front desk, and sales is just responsible for selling memberships. They don't encourage that sales and operations employees help each other out, which I think that should be more encouraged. And when sales see that operations employees are overwhelmed or that we have a line out the door of people waiting to be checked in, that they need to come up and try and help us so we can get things moving a little bit quicker and so the company can be more efficient and the members won't get irritated with standing in line. Currently, operations employees make the bulk of their income by EFT and ClearUp calls. I explained to you kind of how this works earlier. We do get paid flat hourly rate, which is minimum wage in whatever state you work for, and then you make additional income and commission by the EFT and ClearUp calls, which you are supposed to get. Of course, if you are getting paid on commission, we all kind of know, a good example is car salesmen, that they will keep calling you and they will keep on you until they get that sale. Same thing here at LA Fitness. They pressure us to keep calling these members, even if they ask us to take them off their call log because they are upset with the calls, which I don't blame them because we don't have a block on the call list. So many times members will get called, they can get called 10 to 15 times in a day. And that's just not fair to the members, and it does upset a lot of the members. They are overcalled and harassed constantly. If you look to the left of my slide, I did make a graph here on kind of how operations employees do get paid, how the budget and their income factors. So as you can see, the majority of it is made through EFTs. There is a small percentage made through gross, and then there's a small percentage of PIFs, and then from there it goes from miscellaneous gross and then our hourly pay. Strategic option. The first one is going to be to increase operations employees' base pay. What I have proposed is that it starts at $9.50 an hour in the state of Florida. And of course, every state will have a different starting wage for their employees. It kind of just goes off of what that state minimum wage is. Also, you should always have 2 operations employees working the front desks during their peak hours. If clubs are to make local PIF and EFT calls, they need to be to the local members only instead of having us call all of the members that LA Fitness currently has. People get sketched out about seeing unknown numbers or members from a different state or area code, and they don't want to share their billing information that way, which I don't blame them at all. Also, I highly suggest that operations employees need to get paid for their entire shift worked. Currently, they do not. If you're set to open the club, your shift starts at 5 a.m. when the club opens. But we all know that when you're opening a club, you always need to be there a couple minutes early to turn on the lights and to get the computers turned on, to get clocked in and to get everything set up for that day, make sure everything's cleaned up from the previous night. Currently, LA Fitness does not believe in paying their employees before the gym actually opens or closes. Okay, some of benefits and the risks of the strategic option that I have proposed are as followed. Benefits: decrease employee turnover rate. One benefit to this is that the company won't have to invest as much time and money into hiring and training new employees. Currently, they are always hiring and training new employees at their high turnover rate. People are always quitting. And about every other month, they're having to find a new employee who they will have to start from scratch and train all over again. Also, by having instead of having it be at the club's responsibility to call for EFT and PIFs, this will reduce the members' frustration with the high call volume that they currently get. And lastly, is to delegate tasks. They need to, like I said, encourage sales to help operations employees when they see that they're overwhelmed. Some risks to this, although, may be that there might be a potential profit loss, which will be minimal, and that they need to hire and train a larger staff. My final recommendation and call to action is to increase employee pay employees for their full shift worked, delegate operations employees' current workload, reduce the amount of EFT calls. EFT and PIF calls are only to be made to the local members, and they are to allow appropriate staffing for various club sizes. And here are my references. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my video today and my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it and that you were able to learn something.